And from the first moment the newly elected Marshall government met in 2018 after they won that state election, the looming dispute within their party was going to be about mineral exploration companies getting access to farms. A group of new country Liberal MPs, including Fraser Ellis, the member for Narungga, which takes in the Yorke Peninsula and the Adelaide Plains, were known to want to ensure that farmers did not have their farms trampled on by mineral explorers. It was an issue that the Liberal Party was advocating at the time in the opposition ranks, and a sensitive issue inside their own party. When the government lost its majority due to the movement of Fraser Ellis to the crossbench, opponents of mineral explorers getting their own way saw an opportunity to strike. Member for Frome is Jeff Brock. He moved his motion to establish a select committee of the South Australian Parliament into this practice. The Labor MPs combined with other independents to establish this inquiry. It's an intriguing situation, isn't it? Labor wanted to make much of this and the Liberals were dismissive. It's intriguing because you have a mining spokesperson for Labor discussing the very issue that the Labor Party themselves were supportive of during their time in government, which enabled mineral exploration that farmers were so unhappy about. And these same Labor side of the South Australian Parliament are supporting an inquiry into the issue. Now, is there any remorse from Labor in relation to the farmers' properties being trampled by miners? Wouldn't suspect that. The political gamesmanship is to exploit the internal divisions in the Liberal Party at the moment, particularly when one considers some of those Liberals who are now sitting on the crossbench. This select committee will hear evidence that could be a thorn in the side of the government, particularly if Fraser Ellis and his ICAC matters are unresolved and he contests his seat as an independent. He has, after all, said he intends to recontest his seat and represent his constituents, so watch this space. But I think it bears to say what Fraser Ellis said last night when he was discussing this. I have been fighting for improved land access framework throughout my time in Parliament, and I supported this initiative because I think there are improvements that could be made to the current situation. There are other jurisdictions that are balancing the competing interests of mining and agriculture better than we do in South Australia, and that warrants investigation. He looks forward to seeing what this select committee can establish, and he said, I'm excited to serve on it. I'm sure that he is, and I'm certain that his former leader, Stephen Marshall's not excited about the committee. When you consider the problems that there is across South Australia and the Yorke Peninsula, where we've got the issue with copper being mined on farming properties, at Warramboo, where we're eagerly awaiting what might come of Iron Road's mine on Warramboo farmland. This is a very interesting select committee, and I'm sure that there will be some select interest in it by farming groups, and I suspect miners will also take up the cudgels, and we wait with interest how this politically plays out for Stephen Marshall and for the Labor Party, who seem to have a new policy on mining and farming.